Hey everybody, welcome back. So, I got these two model kits from my good friend George Oppenheim just recently, and I've not really looked at them, and I want to, and I want to share that with you guys. I think these are two really cool kits. I have one of these. I already mentioned my friend Billy Bear sent me one. He had already done some pretty cool custom work on it, opened the trunk and did some really cool stuff. This one is it's not started at all, and the same with this one. I've never built a Johan kit before, and I've got quite a few of them, and I need to try that. I've mentioned also in the past that it's a anomaly with my memory or they just didn't have them, but as a kid, I built a lot of model kits. I don't have a memory. That memory of me going and picking out a model kit, there's just none there. It's really peculiar to me. It's really weird and odd. Like, why can't I remember that? Man, it was so cool in my childhood, but I can't remember ever going and remember really seeing model kits on the shelves. It's just so, what a blank. That's what I do. I draw a blank when I go there. But I truly never remember a Johan. I knew the names of MPC and Revell and AMT and Monogram, but I didn't ever know about Johan kits until I got back into the hobby. Once I started my YouTube channel 2020, January of 2020, and I'd never heard of a Johan, and that I started watching videos. Predominantly it was, I think Lucas C is the one that he would do his when he's doing them again, those Lucas kits videos, and he would show things like that. I'm like, wow, what is a Johan? And since then I've acquired I don't know, I probably got 10 or 12 different Johan kits. Not as many as some people. I know Sean, the scale model car guy, Sean, he's got a ton of Johan kits and a lot of the old rare ones, but I'm not sure how rare these are, but I know they're really cool, and I'm going to open them up and we'll check them out. I just want to see what these things are all about. So we'll start with this one. 64 Dodge Super Stock. I did mention on the video when I got these. Oh, really quick. Hold that thought. I forgot something. So, I totally forgot this, and I wanted to do that up front. I got two model kits in the mail from Russ Litchfield, and Russ sent me check this out. He knows I like odd stuff. He likes Citroen, I think that's how you pronounce it, Heller kits, which Heller produced quite a few of these. This is a Revell Citroen 2CV Cocorico, man, that sounds like it needs to be in Puerto Rico, but anyway, it was in France. And these things are very intriguing to me. I have not opened these kits up to look at them. Look at that, this one. Russ also wrote me a really nice letter, and I appreciate it, Russ. Thank you so much. Means a lot when you go to the mailbox and there's something there that you weren't expecting. And yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But this is 1/24 scale. This would be, I guess, your Revell Germany, because everywhere except in America pretty much builds 1/24 scale. And yeah, that's too cool. Oh, it's front engine. I guess it is. It's got a grill. So a little these little French cars. The only reason I know about a Citroen or whatever it's called is from, I've mentioned this a bunch of times, Jay Leno's garage. He probably has one of these. I don't know, but that's the only reason I know much or anything about them at all. Don't know much, but I know that I think they did have one that had like fluid rear suspension of some kind. I don't think this one did, but I think it may not have been a Citroen. But anyway, there were some French cars were always the most peculiar looking things. But yeah, that's really cool. So I can't wait to open this up. It's still sealed with the tape on the ends. Open that up, check that out. Really cool. I guess those are decals that probably come with it there. And the other one that he sent is this Heller Citroen 15CV. Let's see, what year model would this car be? I'm thinking late 30s. Let's see if it's got any history on it. Late 30s possibly. Yeah. Or it was called the Traction, I guess. The Traction was presented at the 1934 model show, or motor show. You know what's on my mind. At that time, there were 3 versions of the 7, the 11, and the 22. It was Andre, well, I'm not going to pronounce that. Andre, who took over the construction of the revolutionary car, which was the Traction. The 15.6 was a normal 11 CV with an extended bonnet. That's a hood, and it's attached timed speed, and it attained time speeds up to 130 kilometers per hour, which is remarkable. With remarkable road holding, which is why it came to be nicknamed the La Reine de la Route, or Route. I don't know if they'd say that. I don't think they would say the E. The La Reine de la Route. I think I just spoke French. That's pretty cool. And that means Queen of the Road. So yeah, super cool. There's your decals right there. And yeah, these are super cool. Heller, they make some really neat stuff. I mean, it's for the most part, it's all, for the most part, not everything, but for the most part, it's foreign cars. But yeah, how cool is that? It almost looks like it would have been front wheel drive. I don't think it is, but yeah, very cool car. Thank you so much, Russ, for those 2 gifts. I do appreciate it. And all right, back to it. All right, so the recharge. What was my last thought? This recharged. Far as I know, it was Ram Chargers, but like Johan couldn't get the licensing or something like that, so they put recharge, which is kind of funny. You know, recharge. That's kind of like the old Palmer kits that were the Roadrunner series, and it had the Roadrunners figure and all, and then I guess they lost that licensing or got in trouble for it, so it was just the Road, and it had the, you know, the Roadrunner had his feet look like a wheel. Well, that's still there on it, but no Roadrunner. But yeah, kind of funny how sometimes when they lose a licensing or get in trouble about it, they'll change the name, and it kind of doesn't make any sense. But anyway, recharged. All right, let's open it up. All right, so there's the glass. Looks good. It's always nice to have glass that doesn't have big tire marks or something on it. Excuse me. There's your Dodge. Well, okay, so I am not up to date on what model car would this be. Excuse me. Let's see, does it say anywhere what it is? I think Dodge and Mopars are just the coolest, but when it came to cars like this, I don't know what the body style was or what it was called. So I guess you guys in the comments can really school me on that. But anyway, the don't think it says anywhere probably. It doesn't give like a history or anything. But anyway, here's the front for it, the front grille and bumper assembly. Right there, looking real nice. 420, you can tell that's 426 Hemi. Valve covers, it's your alternator. It's like the underside possibly of your breathers. Got the steel wheels and the rear bumper and taillight assembly, and it says Dodge there on it, and your gear shifter. And looks like there's a tack right there. That's the chrome tree. And here, getting down to the business part of it, is the body. That thing's big. You'd almost think that was 1/24 scale, to be honest with you. I know it's not, but it is it's a big car. I guess, you know, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes when you're looking at a scale model. I guess I could pull something down and compare the size, but it looks like it's got a fairly long wheelbase. A big car for a drag car, but it is a 2-door car. And I've always thought odd looking on these cars is you have this pillar here that comes down so narrow. It's got a lot of window back here. That was always peculiar looking to me because it comes down and it has such a small contact right there. But anyway, there's body. The hood is sort of got hinges here. Looks like you could cut the hood out possibly. I guess there may be a hood scoop, but you can see the two holes where the cross ram would have been. Body looks really nice. It's got some like sharp edges where the body line is that would need to be sanded, but as far as body mold lines, I guess those would have been the mold lines, and that's why you get that sharpness there. Because I don't really see much as far as like mold lines and things like that. Looks like I guess maybe it's a screw bottom, possibly. Yep, it is. Here's the chassis. Piece of tape on there holding. Oh, I don't know if George did that or not, but there's a piece of tape that's holding well, it's holding something on there because your axle would go through. Axle's stuck through there, the metal axle, and the tape is. I think the tape is holding these little brackets that your axle would go through, or something like that. But anyway, there's your chassis. That's the old promo style. I believe this is an older kit. If you'll notice on the box, as far as the name goes, I know it's not the old Johan logo, but if you look at the newer one here, it's got a registered trademark logo there. So I'm assuming this is a newer one, and it has a different chassis. But this one seems to be an older kit. It is kit number, by the way. I forgot to show you that. What is it? Come on. 2864-2. So it would have been a $2 kit. Wow. So maybe early 70s, mid to early 70s. But anyway, there's the chassis. So it looks like it's going to have an engine that the axle goes clean through. And you got different heights there on your, I guess you could, oh, that's what it is. Okay, on the back, that you can change the ride height. See, there's different holes there, so you can change how high you had it sitting. But yeah, it's the promo style chassis. And oh well, I'm impressed. The interior doesn't have the seats molded in. I would have thought it would have. So it's got the door panel, all that stuff in there. Your door panel detail. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So yeah, but no seats in it. I do appreciate these in building model kits. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get your interior right, and these pins here make it a lot easier for me, because this one here's got the holes are way bigger, but anyway, it still gives you a place where you know that's where it's going to go. And it obviously doesn't have the windshield in it or the dash, but yeah, I like those right there. They make life a lot easier for me. And the windows also have those mounting pins too, so you can get them all in the right spot. So here's the 426 block and heads and transmission. It's got a standard shift. I don't know what the transmission was for a Mopar, but it's a standard shift transmission, which would have been a 4-speed car. I don't think they'd have had an automatic in this. 2 4-barrels, seat belts, and your twisted up headers, because they look like they come out of the fender wells and come out to the side. And so yeah, you got those very wild headers that they use there, and a distributor and a coil right there. And here's the rear seats for it. Hold on, did it have seats already? I thought it had rear seats. Okay, no it doesn't. I was thinking that was the seat. Now it's got the rear seat, which I guess if you make it a race car, you're probably not going to use the rear seat. But anyway, they got the rear seat. I guess you could build this thing stock. And then there's the front bucket seats there. And I said cylinder heads a while ago, but that block does not have cylinder heads. Here's your cylinder heads. Got a piece of flash is what that is. So it's got the hemispherical combustion chambers, believe it or not. And if you looked close enough, they actually have impressions of look like valves. Well, at least one of them looked like it, maybe not. I can't really tell. I've got my glasses, trying to look in the camera, and I don't know. But yeah, at least it does have the hemispherical combustion chambers, which is pretty cool, which makes it a Hemi. Breaking news, that's why it's a Hemi, because it has hemispherical combustion chambers. They're round. I guess it allowed that engine to, you have a wedge style cylinder head, like a 460 and your 440s and things like that. Well, the cylinder head has a wedge combustion chamber, which it's bigger on one side than the other, which I guess could cause more pressure to be angled on the piston. In a Hemi, as far as I know, because it's round, the combustion chamber's round, all the combustion force pushes straight down on it. I think that's what makes it better. Fan, wow, the flash on that. Look at that. That looks like a radiator hose. I know these Johan kits ended up very flashy, if you know what I mean. I heard that they didn't do a lot of maintenance on their molds or something like that, so the later ones were like covered in flash. But this is not too late. Anyway, there's your dashboard. Another, oh, here's your cross ram intake. Right there. By the way, I ain't printed them yet, but I do have the cross ram intakes for the 440 and the 426 that I offer. I just haven't got around to printing them yet and offering those, but those are coming, and the headers for them. There's firewall. There you go. Firewall, like the brake system and all the little wires. And I'm still amazed. How did they make these molds with? They make them by hand. Never really got an answer on that before. I asked. I didn't really ask, but I was pondering the question of how did they used to make the molds? Did they make them like out of clay or something? They didn't have CNC machines back then, as far as like automated. And yeah, so I guess if you cut the hood up, there's your cool super stock hood scoop. But yeah, how do they make those molds? Did somebody carve all that stuff out? I don't know. There's wheel backs, oil pan, tail lights. Got your red tail lights that would go right in the back of your bumper and all that stuff. I know it's not clear. It's not clear at all. And the awesome recharged. These look good for the age. They look pretty darn good. Got the recharged instead of ram charger, and got MH603SS Hemi pure. I guess that's pure gasoline or pure motor oil, or was it both? STP, Goodyear, and Walker jacks. And there's a few other odd and end pieces in there. Side windows and radiator and the rest of the stuff. So that is cool as can be. Put this stuff back in here real fast. And we'll get this one out of the way. Ooh, there went the hood scoop. See how easy I can get this. So the front would go in first. Oh, it's got a locking. That's nice. I gotta admit, although it's got screws, I've said before the screw bottoms are really nice because it gets everything right where it's supposed to be. So there's a little locking mechanism there on the front, and bam, there you go. And close the hood. So yeah, I ain't never. Boy, my English teacher would be proud of me. I have never built a Johan kit, but it's coming. It is coming. So there's that one, the 64 Dodge Super Stock by Johan. And now the Torino Oval Track Racer. And I am curious. Never mind. I answered my question just as I was saying it. I'm curious to see what engine it's got, but it says it right there. 427. So it's got an FE engine in it. It's got the 427. I was kind of hoping it would have had like a big block Ford, I say big block Ford. 427 was a big block Ford, but a 385 family, like a 460 or whatever. They're hard to come by. That's why I have to 3D print them. All right, here we go. Man, that looks like a stock body. I bet it kind of is. I bet it's got the markings and logos and all this stuff. Let's get this out of here. Oh boy, don't break. Dismember this thing and we'll check it out. window glass. This window glass for this one is much thinner than the other one. Which, you know what? That thick window glass is a headache sometimes because it interferes with your dashboard and stuff. So maybe they did it on purpose. Nice and thin. Still looks really good. Alright, let's get the box unloaded and then we'll go back to it. Here's your Torino oval track racer. And here are the start right here. So it was a race car, I guess. You make and build it stock. I don't know, but there's your door roll bar, all your roll bars and all that stuff. Possibly 2 different firewalls. That maybe that's a rear. I don't know. I know this is your front firewall. Looks like the back side, like the. It's like where your pedals or something go. I don't know. I think. And then this one may be a, oh, I bet it's the trunk. I bet it's for the trunk where the fuel comes out of it, possibly. Possibly. Window net. It's like a fire extinguisher system right there. There's your decals. Wow, those look really, really nice. Nice and shiny. Number 27. Who was this? Did it have a driver's name? I don't think so. Maybe it was a driver, or maybe it was just a generic, but anyway, there's 427. Got your Champion, Goodyear, some of the other ones. There's Wicks. What is this? Prestone. Huh. Very cool. All right. Look at here. Okay, so there's your grill, which looks really cool, except for the molded in headlights. That is a really nice looking grill. Then look at there. It said 427 on it, but that is a, you know what, it might have had a single overhead cam, maybe a single overhead cam engine, but those are the valve covers for 429 Boss, I think. Pretty sure about that. There's some of your, I don't know what they are, but some kind of little radiators or something like that, coolers maybe, vents for the front grille or something like that. Foot, rear view mirror, carburetor. Oh, look at there. There's a grill that goes in front of the grill for the race car. Okay, so yeah. Man, this grill looks so darn nice. The chrome looks really, really accurate too. Unfortunately, there's a little place where the chrome is off, but that would be fine to be re-chromed. Carburetor. Oh, you know what? The tires were, I think the tires are missing out of the, were the tires in there? I'm not going to open it back up. If they weren't, that's just fine. All right, here are your tires for this one. They are 2-piece, kind of plastic tires. Circle track style tires, so you couldn't build it stock. They're nice wide. They actually don't look that bad, except they're plastic. They're not plastic. They're more flexible, but you know what I mean. They're kind of hard for rubber. There's your tires. This one has a lot more parts. Oh man, look at that rear diff. It's nice. 2-piece and has a front and a rear opening. There's your, must be a Dana rear end or something like that. It's definitely not a Ford 9-inch. There's a suspension parts, steering parts, shocks. Those trailing arm things that your axle would hook to. And yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm seeing the 427 is the camera. You know what though? Okay, so you've got your timing chain cover for the 427 single overhead cam right there. You've got the block, which has really nice detail. Transmission, I guess probably like T10 or something like that. Then you have your cylinder heads for the single overhead valve, and it was also a Hemi, by the way. Just so you know, the 429 was not a true hemispherical. They called it a semi-Hemi or semi-Hemi, and the 427 was, however, it was a true hemispherical cylinder head. There's your race seat. This has only got one seat, so yeah, this is a race car, but it looks like almost a stock body. Springs, back of the seat, scatter shield or flywheel or bell housing, oil pan, fuel cell, and an intake right there. And then there's some headers to go along with that. they sure look like 429 valve covers, if you ask me. But you know, maybe I'm looking at them upside. They look like 429 head valve covers to me. It just does not look like a 427. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't see any of them down here. Huh. Alright, so here's your newer version with the separate chassis. And which, when I say separate chassis, it's a separate chassis completely. And then you have your suspension and your axle and everything that goes into that. There's the hood. Oh, I haven't even looked at the body yet. Anyway, there's the hood. And it does have racing hood pins on it. So it's already got those. So my theory of it could be built stock kind of went out the window right there. Steel wheels, racing rims, steering wheel. Looks like a well padded. You remember how they would have them old race steering wheels almost look like they would wrap black tape around some padding or something? That's kind of what that looks like. There's your racing breather, battery, and other parts. Here's the rear for the body, or the roll pan, I guess you'd call it, something like that. Roll pan for the body, rear bumper. Oh, is this two different dashes? Oh, that don't go with this kit. This does not look like the same color styrene. See, that's a lot lighter, and not to mention that no, that didn't go with this. George, are you missing a dashboard for something? Because I got one right here. I don't know what that goes with, but maybe you guys can identify what that is. What the heck does that go to? It doesn't look like a Torino dash to me. But you got your Torino race dash right here. It has your racing gauges and all that in it. And your radiator right there. And the front of the differential right there. What kind of axle was that? I'm thinking some kind of Dana or something like that. Alright, so here's the interior. You know what? That's a lot lighter too, as far as color goes. Okay, let's see something. If this dash fits this, we might have issues. Okie dokie. Alright, so that dash fits this interior. And this dash does not fit this interior. Alrighty. So we have run into a dilemma. This interior tub well, no, this is not the tub for that, because if you notice, it doesn't look like it fits all the way. It's not wide enough, because if you put it up to one side, you got a big gap on that side, and it just doesn't seem to. No, it's not. See inside there? It doesn't. Huh. All right. So, you smart fellers. Oh, it didn't have an interior. This is the interior, because it's a race car. Okay, Matthew. This, golly. See if it had those little alignment pins that go right in there. Okay. Alright. So, that fits, but there's no door panels. But did it have door panels because it was a race car? Alright, I guess it's time to go to the instruction book. What's the interior look like? Yep, that's it. That's the interior for it. It didn't have any, because it had roll bars and all that stuff. You didn't have like door panels, obviously. Duh. So, okay, but back to my original thought. I had a bad dilemma. What does this go to? What is this chassis or interior tub? George, are you missing something? I don't see any markings on it. It's a different color. It does not look to go with the Ford Torino. But while we're back at the Ford Torino, and it looks like I do have the parts for it, just had extra parts. There's the body. It's got some, that was your seam right here for your mold, and then it goes up onto the body right there. And oh yeah, it really goes up on this side. See that body line there, which the Dodge didn't seem to have one. That maybe it was on the trunk and you just couldn't see it, but you have on here, you've got I guess cause this more than likely is the just stock Torino body. It has the Gran Torino Sport. It also has that on the side, these on the side, this trim where your race car would have been deleted from that. It does appear to have blinkers on the box, and they are on here, but if you build it as a race car, you'd want to remove this, sand this all smooth, and the door handles look a little different on the box art, but that's because it's a painting. But man, door handles actually look really cool. Wouldn't have door handles, although it had door handles here, but I don't think this car, I don't think a race car would have had door handles. You weld them jokers shut, right? You got to slide in through the window like the Duke boys did. But yeah, stuff like that. This is the stock, appears to be a stock body that you would have to convert to make it a NASCAR. And then your chassis, oh, that fits nice. It's got some locator pins right there on the chassis, see where my thumb's hitting, and you would think that they would have had, and here, so 2 locator pins on each side, but when you fit it in there, there's no locator pin holes, so you'd have to mark and drill those out, or just delete the pins. But yeah, they came a long way with the suspension and all compared to the old Dodge. So this one having separate pieces like that. And there's that rear roll pan-ish, whatever it's called. This is the kind of stuff that I run into when I build a model kit. A lot of times you can't get the chassis in if this piece is in there, but if you put it in after you paint it, it's so obvious that you put it in after you paint it. So I've had to trim pieces of the chassis before to be able to make them work, and on this one it may, I don't know, but that was always a dilemma. Like a 69 Camaro or something like that, or maybe a Mustang, chassis don't want to go in with those, but probably would on this car. But anyway, very cool. So I want to again say thank you to George Oppenheim. George, if you're missing something that you've been looking for, I found it. It's right there, interior for a car that I don't know what it is. I'm still a little lost on the valve covers, because I do know how to identify 429 and 427, and that is not a 427 valve cover. Although when you look at the picture here, that looks more like a real 427 single overhead cam valve cover, or cam cover actually on these, because it had overhead cams. Yeah, kind of weird. So you guys in the comments, let me know, did they mess up and send the wrong valve covers with this particular kit, or is that just, no, you know what, maybe it is no, it's not a 429 Boss. It's got the single, I don't know, but it's got the mounting pins in the valve covers. See those mounting pins to where they would fit in there. I think somebody got something confused at Johan, but they made it work, because they made it where it fit on there. But you got, looks like a confused engine when it's all said and done. But back to it. Thank you, George, for these awesome Johan kits. Thanks, Russ, for those 2 Citroen kits. And this is just the most wonderful hobby community in the world. All right, so as always, guys, don't forget to go check out hobbynutmodels.com. Always linked in the description of the videos. Mark's extended his Memorial Day sale. Go check it out. Save you some money. Go grab your model kit. He's got a lot of other stuff. Don't just go over there and think it's just model kits. He's got a lot of other stuff. So go check it out. Paints and armor things and plane stuff and all kind of different stuff. So go over and peruse his website and check it out, and you will be pleased. And it'd be nice to support Mark. He supported me for so long. Also, don't forget to check out my website, mcvproducts.net. I've got the June contest going right now. So for every $10 you spend at mcvproducts.net, gets you automatically entered into a contest to win a $200 gift card. I think that's what it was. $200 gift card and 2 model kits. It was a 30 Jaguar XKE Revell kit and a 30 Revell 32 5-window coupe street rod kit, or street machine, or whatever you want to call it. Street rod. Yeah, I think that would be more fitting for the age. But yeah, go check it out. You also get stickers in your orders now. I got these stickers in, so each order gets a sticker or 2. I throw 2 in there. So if your order comes with 2 stickers, I packed it. If it comes with 1 sticker, Ellie packed it. And if it comes with no sticker, Ellie packed it. But anyway, you're supposed to be getting stickers with your order, so we're trying hard to remember that. But anyway, thank you so much for all you do. Not to be confusing, but the contest is if you bought $10 of merchandise, you get 1 entry. If you bought 20, you get 2 entries, and so on and so forth. And those will all be tallied up at the end of the month or the beginning of July, and we will have that drawing just like we did here for the month of May. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, thank you all for your support. Do appreciate it. Thanks to my Patreon members. I thank you so much for all your support. Thank you to you guys watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you hadn't already. Subscribe if you hadn't already too. And please let me know about the engine. This don't look like the right engine. Obviously it's the right one for the kit. It came with it, but it just looks like a 427 with 429 valve covers, which doesn't make any sense because your spark plugs were up top, and I am just so confused at this. This don't make any sense. I do see some marks up top, like could have been where they thought plug wires or plugs needed to go, but that is obviously a 429 Boss cylinder head. Okay, I'm done. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Take care, and we'll see you. Oh, there we go. We'll see you soon.